Hi, everybody. I'm Io Haynes, and I'm in Tehachapi, California. Campers today, if they want to go camping in style, use something like this, a Fleetwood RV, 36 feet long. Well, if they want to go in style in the 1900s, they would use a car like this. We are looking at antique recreational vehicles on today's Personal FX.
Hello everybody, welcome to today's Personal FX, the Collectibles show.
Those recreational vehicles are really neat.
Aren't they interesting?
Oh, look at me in one of those.
Yeah.
Well, you know it's also neat, Barbie. Everybody loves Barbie, but the Happy Holiday Barbie is especially popular with collectibles. And today, in addition, we're going to be taking a look at some other holiday-themed Barbies. How valuable are they? They're certainly pretty.
People love to collect those, don't they?
They do.
They sure do.
And as always, we have lots of appraisals to get to, and I'm going to get ready for them right now, John.
All right. And of course, a little bit later on, we'll be cluing you in on an auction that's happening. That's also very interesting. But first, we're going to go back out to Tehachapi, California, which is about a half an hour outside of Bakersfield, where Io Haynes is standing by with today's Super Collector. Hi there, Io.
Hi, John. You know, camping in the great outdoors is one of America's most favorite pastimes. But if you're a city girl like myself, you like to sleep in the indoors in the great outdoors.
Yeah.
We are with our super collector today, David Woodworth. David, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now tell us, oops, excuse me, were you a camper as a child? Is that how this love began?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But I like to go camping like that.
Right, in style.
Yeah, oh, yeah. There's nothing like camping in a nice, comfortable motorhome. But we did that as a family activity, and I realized there's a great deal of interest and history behind RVs. It goes back to the 1900s.
Wow, so your collection begins in the 1900s?
1914 is my earliest unit, and my newest unit's a 1942.
Great, and you started collecting how long ago?
Well, I started in earnest 10 years ago, but I kind of played at it for about 5 years before that.
All right, well, we get to have a lot of fun today and see these gems that David is talking about.
So the earliest RV was really around 1900, is that right, David?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. It was matter of fact, it was a motorhome.
That's amazing. See, I didn't know they went back that far. All right, we'll check in with the two of you later on. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
That's amazing. You know, Claire, RVs, I can't believe somebody collects those.
I think it's wonderful to be able to, and also to use them and enjoy them.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. And we always enjoy having our ace appraisers visiting with us. I want to say hi to Ron Norris and Bob Connolly.
How you
Did
doing?
you ever go someplace in a recreation vehicle?
I have one.
You have one. Vintage or not?
Not just old.
Just old, okay. And let's say hi to Myra, who's our very first guest. Nice to have you visiting.
Thank you.
From Virginia, it is.
Right.
Did you come by, not recreation vehicle?
No, we came by train.
Oh, that's a nice way. And you here for the holidays?
Yes.
And
For a
please,
few days.
oh, for a few days.
Right.
Good. Tell us about what you'd like to have appraised.
I would like to have this picture. It was a wedding present from to an aunt, and it was given to me when she passed away. And in 1936, my aunt had cups to go along with it. She had those painted, hand painted.
Really? How nice.
And as we can see, on the bottom of the cup is obviously the signature of the person who painted it in this motif. Very nice little set, don't you think, Bob?
It's part of what we call Egyptian revival, except the Egyptian revival period has been going on for 200 years. It's a nice picture, European, probably Austrian, 1890. The cups made to match, and it is an absolutely fantastic match, isn't it?
Oh, I think whoever did this was really, really talented. And as you can see, one of the things I would like to point out that when you want to double check on a set like this, that is in fact hand painted, you'll always notice that each one is not identical, and that's one of the ways, another way that you can tell on the hand painting.
You never know the two didn't go together.
Right. The function of this is it could have been used for lemonade, which these cups are, or hot cider. And I like it at about $175 to $200.
Yeah, I'll come in easily 150, and we'll see what happens, but nice set.
Been in your family for quite a while, but you're welcome to put them up for sale today if you like.
I would like to.
Okay, we'll do that. Have a very happy holiday while you're in New York. And our bid line number, because she's selling if you're buying, is 212-802-0082. And Jack has something that he'd like to have appraised. Hi, Jack.
Hi.
Good to have you here. We just met your wife, right?
Right. Thank you. Nice to be here.
And you playing cards?
Yes.
You dealing a good
I
hand
did.
for us?
This is a set of cards that my father-in-law and mother-in-law acquired while they were traveling in the South Pacific Railroad back in the 1930s or 40s, I think it was.
And one of the reasons that they had cards like this was the fact that people would take long trips and there wasn't a lot to do on the train, so people invariably would oftentimes play cards. And these are very, very collectible, not only for people that collect playing cards, but particularly for those people that collect railroad memorabilia.
And there are a lot of those out there.
You bet,
Yeah.
you bet. Nicely done cards, too.
And it shows that colored steam engine on it, very graphic. So this puts this about 1936, 37. It's a cross collectible. You have card collectors that like it, you have railroad collectors that like it. But it's a fairly common set. It was something that's selling the $20, $22 range.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to come in about $35 for it. It is complete, which is nice. And you also have the souvenir book that goes along with it.
Still with it.
I've taken trains in the 90s. I wonder what it was like to take long-distance train rides back in those days, looking at those cards. Okay, so what do you think? You want to put them up for sale?
I think we'll take some bids on them.
Yeah, there might be somebody who's into railroads
Sure.
out there, or just decks of cards. You never know.
Sure,
Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for being with us.
Thank
That's
you.
nice. And Lois is joining us next. Hi, Lois.
Hi.
Good to have you visiting.
Nice to be here.
Enjoying your time in New York?
So far, so good.
Good, yeah. Is this a family item, or where'd you get it?
Got it at Goodwill.
Got a good price at Goodwill?
A good price at Goodwill.
Now, you said that you had two of
Right.
these, however.
Right, I
Okay,
did.
well, that's good. However, this is not cut glass. This is pressed glass, and one of the ways that you tell is by running your fingers along it so that you can feel if it's been wheel cut or not.
I like it. It's early enough. It's probably vintage of World War I. That's when they started making the bigger pieces of glass. It's a vase. It could have had peonies or something like that with short stems in it. And it was to look like cut glass. Today I see these pieces bringing $15 to $30.
Yeah, I think that's a real reasonable price for it.
It is, because it's very lovely looking. I mean,
Oh, it is. I mean,
you don't get a whole lot for $15 to $30.
They did some spectacular work with pressing this glass
Well,
out.
there's a
yeah.
pair of them, so now a pair makes them a little more valuable, say 75 for the pair.
Very pretty, and you got a good deal at Goodwill.
I got a good deal at Goodwill.
So what do you think? Put them up for sale?
Absolutely.
Why not?
All right.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you. And now it's time for the Collector's Update.
All right, pieces of ancient art and objects have actually been on the auction block since the 18th century, if you can believe it or not. And today the tradition continues as Sotheby's auctions off almost 500 pieces of ancient art and objects. So let's take a look.
Ancient artifacts are no longer restricted to museums. Sotheby's Auction House in New York City is making ancient antiquities available for your home.
Antiquities refers to ancient Greek, Roman, Egyptian, and Near Eastern art.
Prices range from $200 to $200,000. Value isn't determined by age, but by size, rarity, and condition. And in this case, damage is okay.
With antiquities, people expect things to be damaged.
The sale centers on Egyptian and classical antiques. French Emperor Napoleon was the first to collect Egyptian artifacts in the early 1800s. The one piece that he might have staged battle over is this statue of I, King Tut's uncle. It's estimated to sell for $40,000 to $60,000. Classical Greek and Roman era pieces became collectible in the early 1300s. One highlight is this Greek jar from 500 BC. It depicts Heracles, and bidding begins at $40,000. Sotheby's hopes this semi-annual sale will bring in $3.5 million.
Here's the fun part of this whole thing. Unlike a museum, Sotheby's is allowing potential buyers to go in and actually handle the objects and inspect them so you can actually handle something from the 4th century. But here's the golden rule. Damage is expected, but you break that thing, you bought it. Sotheby's is also allowing phone and fax bids if you're interested. So, all right, stay with us, folks. When Personal FX returns, we have a lot of appraising to do. As a matter of fact, you see all these objects right here? We're going to find out their history and their value. As a matter of fact, this ketchup guy right here, the more you look at it, the more fun it is. We also have more items out in California that we have to get to, so stay with us.
And it's time now to recap our late bids from yesterday's show. Our appraisers, John and Susie, said Linda's bronze sculpture is worth $2,000. Dorothy from Medford, Oregon bid $1,174 on it, and Linda says she's going to be holding on to that statue. And then in the mailbag segment, we saw a photo of a clock that Phil had sent in. Our appraisers clocked it at a value of $800, and Robert from Bristol, Connecticut bid a bid of $952, but Phil said he's going to keep that clock. And also in the mailbag segment, Marcella had sent us in her coffee pot photo. John and Susie appraised it at $75. Susan from Seattle, Washington brewed and came up with a bid of $110, and Marcella said, sold. And that's it for the last roundup. We do have some more appraisals, John.
Out in Tehachapi, California, as a matter of fact, where Marvin has joined us. Hi, Marvin. How you doing there?
Oh, I'm doing great this morning. Thank you.
Good, good. What'd you bring to have appraised?
Well, I brought a fan that was made by the Western Electric Company. It's got a Victor AC fan motor in it, and it's got a couple of patents on it. One, December the 26th, 1893. The last patent is October the 9th, 1906, and I believe it's what they call a lollipop fan. This thing in the front moves back and forth as the fan goes and causes it to shift direction.
Oh, all right. Let me see what the appraisers think here, Marvin.
It appears from what I can see here that this is in fantastically good condition. Is that correct?
Yes, it runs very well.
Okay, so this hasn't been in somebody's basement for the last 40 years, Bob, which is going to help
Probably has, but had a little furniture polish put on it or brass polish. That's a great fan.
Is it? It's a good fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And people do, there are fan collectors out there.
A lot of them.
Okay, I think we've had a couple of super collectors on the show.
That's right.
And this is the kind of thing that they're really looking for.
You've got that lollipop action which changes and makes the fan move back and forth, and that's the desirable part of it. You're dealing with something you have to stop and realize. It's 90-some years old. It's electrical. It works. I like this at about $300.
I'm going to be a little bit more conservative than Bob, come in about $200 for that one.
Marvin, do you know, has there been any work done on it at all? Has it ever been rewired or?
We've only had the fan about 5 years. Got it in Independence, Missouri, and I don't believe it's had any work done on it since then, but of course, prior to that, I really don't know.
Okay. Well, would you like to take bids on it, or do you want to hold on to it?
Actually, I'd be interested in knowing what someone would pay for it, but in fact, probably, unless it was a really good bid, I probably wouldn't sell it.
Okay, anything over $700,000, we'll tell you. How's that? Is that?
Oh, that would be terrific.
Okay.
Yes.
Marvin, thank you for bringing that by. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay. And William has joined us. Hi, William. How you doing?
Gentlemen, how are you?
How's life? How's life? Okay?
Good.
Good. What do you got here?
That's a yard sale item I picked up.
All right.
Well,
Candy dish, I believe.
it's a tureen, and it's Japanese, and I think it's about 1870, 1880. And it was at that time period that they were experimenting with firing reds and getting to fire great. You notice that there's no real high concentration of reds in this. It's got the typical twig type handle, which is European in origin.
One of the things that I want to point out on this particular piece, if you could put it down, John.
Sure.
One of the things I always check for to see about the actual quality of the porcelain or ceramics is to move this lid around. And as you can see, this thing moves quite a bit. It's not a tight fit, which I really like to see. Also, if we can just wobble this a little bit, it's not flush to a flat surface. So when this was made, although it's typical, there wasn't a lot of attention paid to the detail. But I think Bob's right as far as the age goes on it.
Because of the age, Japanese and what it is, it's only 30 years after the Japanese market was open to the U.S., which happened in 1854 with Perry. You're dealing with something that is collectible. It's was made for export, and you'll find out that this will sell for like $75, $85.
Now, 75 is right on the money. Like it.
What's the difference between a candy dish and a tureen?
Well, a tureen is something with a cover
As a
on it.
lid.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it? That fancy name? Just
That
because
works.
Okay.
You got a candy dish,
All right.
now
got
you
a
have
tureen.
a tureen.
All right. Well, do you want to take bids?
Certainly.
All right, let's see what happens. Thank you very much for bringing that by. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So if you'd like to place bids on anything that's up for sale on today's show, here's a number to call. 212-802-0082. And Alex is up next. Hi, Alex. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good, good. What'd you bring? What do you got here?
I have a watch that was given to my great-grandmother as a gift from my great-grandfather.
Wow.
Do you know what year it was given?
I have no idea.
Well, this is a Lieutenant Picard.
A Luchan Picard?
Yep. And
Okay.
it was made in Switzerland. But when we look at it, the back of the case is signed 14 karat gold. And it says cased and timed in the U.S. This started with World War II when it was very hard to get women's watches because everything was going into the war effort. And this one here is probably from the late 40s, very early 50s, and they were highly decorated. Now, normally these watches don't bring a lot of money, even though they're 14 karat gold and these are cultured pearls. But this has what they call a kitsch look to it.
Wait, you're telling me even though it has pearls and real gold, 14 karat gold, that's not going to bring in the money. The money brings in because it's kitsch?
Yeah, it's that
All right.
funky look to it.
And that's a very, very hot item right now. It's kind of pre-retro, if you will. And it's from that standpoint is really, I think, where it's sales is going to be.
Now, if you scrap that and sell the pearls and melt the gold down, you're only going to have about $50 or $60 worth of value. But when you take it and sell it as a piece of kitsch jewelry, which is funky jewelry, this can bring $150. And it's an excellent timepiece.
$2 to $250.
$2 to $250?
Yeah.
Well, he's one.
You know,
I'm conservative.
I've never heard you use the word funky before. That was new for me. That's great. No, I like that. Do you want to take some bids on that? Do you want to hold on to it?
I'll take some bids.
Let's see what happens. Thank you very much, Alex, for bringing that by. Appreciate that. Jerry is up next. Hi, Jerry. Come on in. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. What'd you bring here? Now, what do you got?
That's an album cover that my brother-in-law actually got at a garage sale some time ago.
You know, what's interesting about album covers with the Beatles, sometimes they're worth a lot of money if you know what the deal is. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are.
You want to start this one out?
Well,
right?
I'll tell you what, I don't think this is one that is the deal, but with this particular album cover, Bob, why don't you let the people know what you know about this one?
All right. This originally, when it came out, was called It's Yesterday and Today, but they referred to it as the Butcher Block album.
I remember.
The original cover had them with dolls and dismembered, and they had blood on the apron, and there was an uproar. And they withdrew it after the first or second day of issue. And then they sent out this picture, which was pasted over the album. Now, the album, without the original album, in mint condition, sells for $5,000 to $7,000.
The one with the controversial
Right.
cover,
Correct.
5 to 7.
Right.
Now, if you have one that has this picture on it, but it's an overpaste, it sells for $300 to $500, and there's people that say they can peel it off. The way of telling the overpaste is right here on Ringo. If you can see a white V-neck sweater, it's the overpaste.
Huh.
And if it's all black and there's no white V-neck sweater, then it's the later one that's worth $40 with the record in mint condition. So unfortunately, this album is worth about $8 the cover.
Yeah, in the condition that it's in, $5.
Yeah, that's
how you tell them.
That's really good to know. Well, do you want to take bids on that? There's a lot of Beatles collectors out there.
Sure.
All right, we'll take bids and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that by. All right, let's go back out to California. Io Haynes is looking at a super collection of RVs. Io, I like to go camping. Apparently, a lot of other people do, too.
That's right. What you may not know is that the first recreational vehicle hit the roads around 1910, and by 1922, over 15 million people were enjoying the great outdoors by using recreational vehicles.
Wow.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at antique recreational vehicles here in Tehachapi, California on Personal FX.
Did you know that this is the first and last year for a brunette Happy Holidays Barbie? That's brought to you by Robitussin. They've never made a Happy Holidays Barbie that is a brunette. It's never happened. So they're going to do it this year only and then never again. So the speculation is that that's really going to be worth something
a lot.
in the future.
Well, a little
yeah.
later on, we're going to be seeing some of the blonde-haired versions of
That's
the
right.
Happy Holidays Barbie.
Good, good.
Collect now.
These RVs. I was thinking maybe the
What?
first RV ever was a covered wagon. I wonder if that could be possible.
Now, they've worked hard when they had those covered wagons. There
Yeah.
wasn't much recreation available.
Well,
I
that's
think, in
true.
those
There wasn't a
days.
whole lot of R&R going when you're crossing
Right.
the country.
Yeah.
Let's go out to California right now and see some of these great RVs. Io?
You guys said that you like to camp?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like to camp in style. I think I could do one of these indoor camping things. I couldn't be in a sleeping bag outdoors.
Yeah, let me tell you, RVs are the only way to go camping.
Yeah. Now, this is so hard to believe that this one right here, what years are we talking about
This is
right
a
here?
1916, and believe it or not, this is 3 feet 4 inches, and it is a full camper.
That
Wow.
is so hard to believe. How is that possible?
Well, come on over and let me show you.
Okay.
It all opens up, and to reveal a bed, first of all, this will pull down.
Look
and
at
the bed
that.
will set up, and then you slide out the canopy cover, which
Cool.
Now, not only does this contain a cover, but it also contains a kitchen area and a full chest of drawers, and you have your double bed.
That's a double, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, you got to get along real well.
Right.
But you're all set up here with your full pantry, with all your cooking utensils and things of that nature, anything you need to do to go camping.
That
And
looks
where
like
would
my
you cook?
apartment.
There's even a can opener.
That's great.
That
But
is
where would you
amazing.
cook in all this?
Well, on this unit, it does have a stove mounted on the engine, so as you're driving down the road, the heat from the exhaust will cook your meal for you. So when you're
Right.
at camp, dinner's ready.
Oh, but would you want the exhaust in your food?
It doesn't have anything to touch the food.
That is great.
Heat
Yes,
on
Claire.
fire.
I think I want one. How rare are they to find, and what do they cost?
Well, this is the only one that I know that exists. They were made in San Francisco in 1916, sold for $100, and then we entered the war in 1917, and they quit building them.
You're kidding me. So
Yeah.
how many years later is this model
Well,
here with the attachment?
Now, this is a 1929 Ford Phantom. The engine number is 1,225, so it puts it December of 27. This is the first production travel trailer, a 1929 covered wagon.
Now, is this the original canvas?
No, this is not the original
Okay.
canvas, but all the wood is the original. And you'll notice that the floor drops down so you can stand up. There's only a bed in there. There's a couple little cabinets, a roll-top table sitting off on the left-hand side. People saw this in 1929 and thought, this is wonderful,
Right.
and asked him to start building them. And from there, it went to the largest publicly owned company in the 30s.
So he just made it for himself, just for
Yeah,
his
this
family.
was just to go on vacation.
That's incredible. Well, how many years have passed from this model?
Well,
this looks so modern.
This is a Hunt house car, 1937. Come on in, let me show it to you.
Okay, you go ahead.
Unbelievable.
Isn't
Now,
that great looking?
Unbelievable.
If you'll come in and look, it has, first of all, a dinette set and a couch, and now that makes a bed here and a bed over here. The kitchen area is right up here with a sink, a stove, being modern in 1937, has a round ice box.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
great.
And then it has a complete wardrobe closet right here. And when you open up the wardrobe closet, oops, it reveals the bathroom. And here's it will pull out of the wall and open up, and you have to dump the bucket.
That's great.
And then,
How much would this sell for back in its day?
well, this sold for about $1,200, $1,800, I guess, for something like
So
that.
this is something for rich people at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Oh,
the
yeah?
average person. Yes, Claire.
Was that considered way ahead of its time for 1937?
Well, it was at a time when they were actually making things Art Deco and very Airstream. Chrysler's come out with an airflow car, so it kind of fit with the times.
So what about this one that we're looking at here?
Well, this is a 1933 camp car. This was actually built. A guy would take this to Florida every year, leave Illinois, and get out of the harsh country.
So you not only collect the recreational vehicles, you collect the chairs, everything associated with it.
Photographs, diaries, sleeping bags are the hardest things for me to locate. People throw them away. Old furniture, anything related to camping.
David, where do you find these? I mean, they're just not lying around.
No, I depend on shows like this and new people writing stories about me. That's about the only way I can find it.
That is incredible. So this recreational vehicle didn't come to you in this condition.
Oh, no. None of them come in very good condition.
Now, what did you have to do to this particular model?
This one had to be completely rebuilt. It didn't run. Had to be repainted. It just had to be all refurbished.
So are they inexpensive to purchase initially?
Generally, they don't cost too much to purchase. They cost a ton to fix up.
A lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. Huh?
That's right. That's right.
David, we want to thank you so much. I think you've all inspired us, and you inspired us all to go camping this summer.
Well, don't go this way. Go in a brand new one. You'll love it a lot better. I promise you.
Hey, Isle?
Yes, John.
For 1 second, can we go inside that one? And as we do, David, I wanted to ask you, how many RVs do you have?
Well, right now I have about 30 RVs, and this one that we have here has running water right back here. You can have a tap, and then the bed drops down.
And you have the bed all in there.
And the bed's inside.
That is great. That's amazing. You have 30 RVs. That is amazing.
Yes, but I'm still looking for more.
Always collecting, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
my wife seems to think I have enough.
Sure.
You got to spend a lot of time on the road.
That's right. David, Io, thank you very much. That was a first. That was terrific.
Oh.
Truly, it was.
Thank you so much.
I love your collection. Thank you. You know what? Forget pitching tents anymore, John. I remember pitching a tent in the rain. The water came in and whatever. Just get your own RV.
Yeah, you can cook your steaks from the heat of the engine. That's the ultimate in drive-through, don't you think?
You're super.
Amazing. Stay with us, folks. Personal FX will return, and when we do, we've got a lot more appraisals coming your way. So don't go anywhere.
Personal FX is always on the road, but I think we've been doing it wrong. We need to travel by recreational vehicles. What a way to travel. We're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, December 22nd to 24th. We are booked up. And we're in Pensacola, Florida, December 29th through the 31st. We're also booked up for super collectors, as well as people who would like to have an item appraised. But if you're in the tri-state New York area, we're heading your way January 5th through the 9th, and it's not too late to call us to book an appearance. Just give us a call at 1-800-FX-FX-FX1. Welcome back to Personal FX. One of the fun parts of the show is being able to bid on items that are up for sale. So let's tell you about today's items. And we start out today with the pitcher and cups. The pitcher is probably from the 1890s. There are 6 cups that were made to match. What a great match. $150 to $200 is the appraised value. We have a deck of playing cards from the 1930s. It's a railroad motif for those of you who collect Railroadiana. And it has a souvenir book, $20 to $35. There's a pressed glass vase, $15 to $30 from the 1920s and American made. And then we saw the electric fan made by the Western Electric Company, and it does work. It's in good condition. It's a lollipop fan, appraised at $200 to $300. There's a porcelain tureen. It is made in Japan, 1870 to 1880. The lid is not a tight fit, which is not unusual, and the price $75 to $85. And then we have a lady's watch, 14-karat gold, cultured pearls, really neat looking. Late 1940s, early 50s, and the value is in its look, $150 to $250. There's also a Beatles album cover, and this is the reissued album cover of a controversial cover. There's no album in it, so it's just worth about $5 to $8. See something? Like it? Give us a call, 212-802-0082, and let's get to some more appraisals. John?
All right, we're going out to Tehachapi, California, where Carrie has joined us. Hi, Carrie. How you doing there?
Good morning.
Good morning. What do you got?
I've got a green hand-blown glass bowl that belonged to President Adams. He kept it in the White House and then handed it down to a wealthy family in Massachusetts. It actually has real gold blown into the glass. And it belonged to David Woodward's grandparents, and then now he is the proud owner of it.
Gary, that's a fantastic story. Do you have, I know the appraisers are going to ask you this, so I'll ask it. Do you have any provenance, anything that we know it belonged to President Adams?
No, we do not. We do not know a whole lot. We just know that it was handed down from him to some wealthy people.
Okay.
And then given to David's grandparents.
Okay.
Could we see the bottom of the bowl?
Carrie, there you go. Yeah, there you
You
go.
can tell it's hand blown. There is a marking right here.
That's
If you look very closely, you can see the gold that's intertwined.
That's beautiful.
Old flecking, yeah.
I'd say that it's probably Venetian in origin with the gold specks in it. Probably Murano, the island of Murano in Venice. It looks to be 1840, 1850 finger bowl. It could be later. Then again, it could be Lutz from Bohemia.
Well, as we know, one of the hardest things, particularly on remote, is really being able to, right off the top of your head, positively identify something. I like the story, but again, with no written documentation and or proof, one of the problems we run into is now, again, verifying that, because it would add, in this case, value if, in fact, it was owned by President Adams.
All right, so what we'll do then is we'll get two values here.
Right. It's a finger bowl. It has no underplate, which it would have had. So the underplate is missing. We have a bowl. Walking into a shop, what would you expect? $70, $75 on it. If it's attributable and traceable to Adams, then the provenance is worth another 700?
Oh, I would think it would top 1,000 just for that alone. And I think 75 is a reasonable price for it, too, is if it's just a normal piece of glass.
And we can verify that that is gold in there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
there's no problem with that. All right.
There is another color intertwined, a red color.
All right. Well, do you want to take bids on that, or do you want to hold on to it?
Yeah, we'll take some bids.
The ruling from the judges is you'll take some bids. All right. We'll do that for you, Carrie. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's an interesting story. If you could verify that, it really matters.
You bet, John.
All right. Sarah now has joined us. Hi, Sarah. Come on in. Come on in. How you doing?
Good.
How old are you?
I'm 10.
Oh, welcome. What'd you bring?
I brought a doll. It was my grandma Miriam's, and I don't really know anything about it.
Okay.
But that was hers when she was a doll.
Okay.
Well, she's referred to as a Wendy Ann.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a Madame Alexander.
Right. And
I can have you turn it that way there, Ron. So we can get a
okay.
shot.
And one of the things we want to do is to see if it has a twist body, which this one does. There were several models of this particular doll that were made, and the twist body is one of the identifiers.
And it was made for a long period of time, and this one I have a feeling was made just before World War II, maybe 39, 1940. It's the composition and plastic, and it's cracked on the back, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? There's a little bit of a crack on the back?
Yeah, the back of the head is cracked.
Okay.
It's hidden. It's got original
By the
clothes
vault,
on it. In perfect condition, this is about $500. In this condition...
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come in $500 on it because of its age, even though it's not in mint condition.
And I'll say $375.
Okay. Did you want to see if anybody wants to buy it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Did you want to say hello to your teacher?
Yeah.
Who?
Miss Donna. She was my dance teacher at Broadway Band.
Okay, there you go. Well, we'll take bids and we'll let you know. Thank you very much for bringing that by. Appreciate that. Always trying to help young people get A's in school. That's what we're really all about here. All right, thank you very much, Sarah. I'm going to call in Lisa now and see what she brought to have appraised. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. What is this?
It's a ketchup container.
Yeah, where'd you get it? What do you know about it?
What did a garage sale? I don't know. It just looked like my mother. Hasn't talked me into buying it.
Hi, Mom, you know. This is a cute piece. It really is.
Your husband would have said my mother-in-law. Okay.
That's why I came on.
Okay. This is, again, one of those funky pieces. How do you like that?
Yeah, funky. Thank you very much, Bob.
It's a ketchup dispenser. It reeks of 1950.
Yes, absolutely. It's just it's such a cute piece, and
now this would be kitsch, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Kitsch for the kitchen.
Kitsch for the kitchen.
In the ketchup, right?
Yeah.
I see. This is 50s, and this is, to me, this really identifies that period. So I would think that this would be very collectible.
Well, these things are becoming very collectible. This is not great artwork, okay? All right, but it is of the 1950s style, and it's just really a plain, ordinary, cute piece, whether it was made a week ago or 10 years ago. Bob?
Somebody's going to pay $40 for it.
35 in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Somebody's going to pay more. That is, if you want to take bids.
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens. Thank you for bringing
Thank
that
you.
by. See what happens with that one. All right, let's go back out to California where Randy has joined us to have something appraised. Hi, Randy. How you doing there?
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
Good. What you got?
I brought in a Punch and Judy cap gun. It was dug up in Maine, and I don't know too much about it other than that.
All right.
Yep.
Looks terrific. This is a character type of cap gun. Guns were made in mass production and very, very popular from, let's say, about 1880 up through the Vietnam War.
Right. There's actually two models of this gun. This is the one where he bangs his head against the back of her when the trigger's pulled, and you put a little cap in there and it pops. There is another variation where he kicks her in the back end.
And this dates back to how far?
This is 1880.
1880.
This is the rare version.
Aha.
And I like this in the $300 to maybe $400.
Toy guns are a super duper collectible. Bob, I think you're right on the money. I wouldn't be surprised if it went over 500 though.
Oh yeah, it could.
Well, what do you think, sir? You want to take some bids on that? You want to hold on to it?
Yeah, I'd like to take some bids.
All right, we'll do that for you. Thank you for bringing it by. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is the 10th anniversary of the Happy Holidays Barbie, and when Personal FX returns, we're going to learn also that there were 54 other holiday-themed Barbies out there. So we'll show you when we come back. Join us for the Super Collectors. We do it every day at 1 o'clock. Some of the best hits of Personal FX. It's the Super Collectors every day.
For the past 10 years, the Happy Holidays Barbie has been among the best-selling toys at Christmas. But there are some other holiday-themed Barbies which we're going to be taking a look at right now. And I'm pleased to introduce Jane Saracen-Kahn, who's written this book called Contemporary Barbie. Nice to have you with us.
Hi,
and welcome.
Claire.
Okay, let's start out with these beautiful Happy Holidays Barbies. Limited edition, been around for 10 years.
Right.
Very popular with collectibles.
Yeah.
This is the first one?
That is the first 1988 holiday Barbie.
How much did it go for then, and how valuable is it
It
now?
was a real marketing test. Mattel had never sold a new Barbie doll for over $20. So this doll was very limited when it came out, went for $25, and today at auction this doll fetches over $650.
If only you were smart enough to know then what you know now.
Absolutely.
In addition to these Happy Holidays Barbie, there are all these other holiday-themed Barbies.
Yes.
Let's take a look at in terms of this one.
Yeah.
How many? Was it 54 of them?
There are well over 50 if you include winter-themed Barbies, yes.
Okay. And how are they different from the Happy Holidays?
Well, we have dolls for every collector segment, from high-end adult, sophisticated collectible dolls, all the way through to dolls for 3-year-old girls.
She looks high-end. She's all dressed up. She's got the earrings. She's the necklace.
Yes, and your favorite color, green.
Yes.
This is Evergreen Princess, which was the second doll in the Winter Princess series, which started in '94. She originally sold for $50,
Yes,
and now
gorgeous.
goes for about $100 and a quarter.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But they're not all quite that expensive.
No.
You have some more inexpensive ones?
That's right. Now going down the retail market scale, because a lot of these dolls are associated with retail distributors, is the Hallmark doll right here. This was the first in the series, called Holiday Elegance. She's a gorgeous Victorian skater, and we collectors love the details like the fur muff and the skates that you can see she's wearing. She was sold again, as most Hallmark dolls are first sold for $50, and today goes for about $120.
She is lovely.
Yeah.
And I love looking at all the details and the workmanship,
Absolutely.
as well as the costume.
And that's what makes it so collectible, is the detail.
Hallmark also makes ornaments.
Absolutely. Can't talk about Hallmark without talking about these, because they're very collectible by both Hallmark ornament collectors and Barbie collectors.
A Barbie ornament. No tree should be without one.
No, mine certainly isn't. This ornament, which was the first sold in '94, is a replica of the 1993 holiday doll. Being the first, it's the most collectible, sold for $14.95, and today sells for what this doll sells for, $125.
Isn't that something? Is it very delicate? You have to be afraid of breaking?
No, you can pick that up. It's heavy resin plastic.
Oh,
So.
okay. Oh, it is heavy?
Yeah, quite.
Ooh, wow. But tell me about this one.
Yeah, well, again, down the retail marketing channel to the warehouse clubs, which is a growing area of retail distribution for Barbie and Mattel. This season's Greetings doll was sold at BJ's, Price, Costco, Sam's Club in '94 for about $19, and today sells upwards of $60.
And it was a limited edition.
Absolutely.
So chances are it's going to go up in value when
and
you
they're well
purchase it.
detailed and good value compared to the Happy Holidays doll.
This young lady right there?
Most of the kids of my friends get this for Christmas. This is from the line of supermarket and drugstore chain dolls. Caroling Fun, with her music and mittens, was out in '95 as part of that series. They sell for $9, $10, depending where you go, and they escalate every year by $5, $10. She sells for about $25 today.
And this Avon one is
great.
Beautiful.
That's the
with
first
her blue
Avon
costume.
holiday. Yeah, that's winter velvet, and she's very collectible because she is blue, navy blue. She also came in an African American edition, which is gorgeous.
Well, it also sounds just like with the Happy Holidays Barbie. These are all popular, they're valuable, they're collectible.
And they're fun to decorate with at the holiday time.
I believe in the fun part, too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we collect.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for bringing
Claire.
them all in. I'm enjoying. Can I play with them?
Absolutely. That's why they're out of the box.
Okay, John, I'm going to be playing with Barbie.
All right. When it comes to collectibles, you can always count on Barbie, that's for sure. All right, it is time now for the Mailbag Minute. This is where we answer as many of your mailbag letter requests as possible in 1 minute. And recently, we put Susie Anderson to the test. Here's how she did.
Jessica of Portland, Oregon, you have a 2-part Jardiniere that is American pressed glass. I value this piece at $60. Jerry Guzman of Tinley Park, Illinois, you have a late 1800s nano clock that still works. It would sell in a minute for $250. William Monty of New York, because of recent events, your Princess Di cup has skyrocketed to $100. Pat from Massachusetts, you have an Occupy Japan teapot. Its value is in the bag at $225. Mary Weedman of Owasso, Michigan, your vase is a Gallet art glass. It was a safe 75-cent investment because it is worth $1,500. Mary Pearson of Kentucky, you have a band leader Mickey Mouse that's a store display. It beats the band at $300. Eddie Palmer of Baton Rouge, you have a riding toy from the He-Man cartoon. The value is a strong $100. And that's a Mailbag Minute.
7. She did 7. I think 8 is the record. I'm still waiting for that big 9. Somebody's going to break that one day. All right, stay with us, folks. When Personal FX returns, we're going to come back at you with the big bids. Don't go anywhere. It's a fast town. Welcome back to Personal FX. Claire, let's get started with these big bids.
John, I'm off and running.
All right, let's do it.
We're going back out to California. And Marvin, we want to let you know for your electric fan, we have an offer from Annie from Rockland, California for $2,000.
$2,000?
That's what the card says, John. You want to verify it?
I'm verifying it's 2,000.
It's sold.
All right.
I think he was speechless. What do you think? And Myra, for your picture in cups, Marla from Incline Village, Nevada, would like for the set to offer you $350.
Let me think about it.
You certainly may. Take your time. And Jack, for that deck of playing cards, Nancy from Pocatello, Idaho, is offering you $75.
Sold.
Lois, for your pressed glass vase, we have an offer from Shirley from Woodbridge, Virginia, for $125. Sold.
All right. William with the porcelain tureen. Joe from Green Bay, Wisconsin wants it for $85.95.
I'll have to think about that.
All right, you think about it. Alex with the ladies' watch. Tom from Greensboro, North Carolina wants it for $345.
I'll think about it.
All right. Jerry with the Beatles album cover. Robert from Grand Junction, Colorado wants it for $25.
Sold.
Sold it is. And Lisa with the ketchup bowl. Matt from Pleasanton, California wants it for $46.
I'll think about it.
All right.
And as you're doing that, should we go back out to California? Io, thank you. And David, I love the recreational vehicles.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great joy collecting them.
We had a great time, David. Thanks so much.
And thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, we're heading back to Bakersfield tomorrow. We're going to look at a super collection of memorabilia from the Jewel Tea Company.
All righty, Aya, we'll see you then. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, let's take a second to thank our appraisers, Ronnie Norris and Funky Bob Connolly. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate that.
Ronnie and Bobby.
That's right.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in, everybody. We had a good time. Hope you did, too.
Thank you.
That is our show for today. We will see you back here tomorrow, everybody.
Bye-bye. If you'd like to get in touch with Personal FX, call us at 1-800-FX-FX-FX1 or fax us at 212-802-4201. Share your comments, questions, or be our guest